I am.
Okay, well, he is now.
Well, it's a pretty good practice. So, okay, let me see here. So I'm trying to double check the fields that are coming through, just so we're pulling blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. Because the only thing that I am having a little bit of a concern about that I'm wanting to make sure is that I'm getting enough location-based information for you. That was the
Okay.
only one I have a concern about because our out-of-the-box stuff doesn't usually have a ton of location stuff that comes with it. Okay, so we have the code. And then okay, so what it looks. Let me pull this. Nope. Here we go. I have like all of your CSVs and stuff like that. I've just preparing for the call like probably 2 hours ago. I pulled everything up, so, and then there was this one. Okay, so the location in here. You guys are wanting what? Just the state?
It's not what we were thinking because payrolls could run according to location. You know, if they want, usually they want to pull reports
Yeah.
based on how much each location is, kind of costing them and benefits and all that stuff.
So you guys are going to want
they're running,
more than just the state. You're going to want the specific address, specific zip, county,
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
location, like the location number. If it goes by location number, that's what we're going to want. So if we're labeling 5 work sites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we're going to want to do it that way. I don't know if there's addresses, if they have 5 different addresses, because I know Prism, we're basically putting in what location. Is it the main corporate headquarters location? Which location are we putting these employees in?
Because a lot of them, with Prism as well, you give each company an employer. So it could be, the employer could be Metro Coast, but they're going to have like 3 different company names, like DBAs that they're working under.
Yeah.
But the employer's same. So that's what we mean, like, by the location.
So correct me if I'm wrong, you're wanting to be able to pull the location information that you have like right in here. Like being able to say, here's your location code, location.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is what we're talking about. So, but the question is, if you go back to that screen,
This one right here?
no, where you just showed us location and location code.
Yeah.
Right there. So are we, on our prospects, we can label them with 5 locations here? How does that work?
Yeah, so in this case, I mean, granted, being as a Pulse client, you guys do have a location API that will feed back over when they're in a client status. So like your Prism and Pulse side will sync up and everything. But so yeah, you do have a location code right here. I mean, this is a text field, so you can put anything you want in there pretty much. And then you have your location.
Right. So the question is, all right, I see main, I see location code 1. Great. How do we put a second location in here in Pulse?
So, like, we'll just start with the workspace. So there's a little plus sign right here because you have a link that'll send you to the location. Or you should be able to search for your client location data form right here. Which will just bring up this little view because it's a multi-data form, and you can add or select one to edit.
Okay. So that's, we want to just kind of follow on that trend with those different locations, because I assume in the proposal we can connect a location to X amount of benefits and payroll and everything else.
Well, that's one of the things I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to figure out for you is what location information we have coming over as a default. So, a little more information for you. So what you're seeing.
What was it, Evan? Hold on one second. Evan, hang on. So last week when we did our meeting, there was like 30 different things that had 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to like 30.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Right here.
Yeah, code 1, code 2.
Okay. So there we go. That's the idea that we're trying to go off of, because we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just what we noticed with that. So
Oh,
do we need to, do we need to, do it a little differently? Because here you've got workers' comp code 2.
yeah. So it's
That's
a,
the actual,
This is different. This is different than so there's 30 of these for the workers' comp. Is that what we were seeing last time?
something like that. Yeah, pretty sure it's about 30.
Okay.
Yeah,
when you talk
30.
about code, that's actual workers' comp code,
That's
not
the
location.
code. No, that's not gonna be location. So you're seeing inside the code 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 30. You're not seeing like a location tag.
No, so what it does is it puts like a CA for the state. Here, let me show you. So this is an example of what you would see. You would see that get pulled through, like a CA 8810 or like a 9610 or yeah. So you would have a state initial and then the code, or it's the code then the state. But it's basically that.
Why don't we go ahead and put location as state?
Okay. So would you kind of have these two columns sort of put together?
Well, no, because the client's not going to understand CA 8810, so there is nothing identifying what state.
Yeah, that's what the CA is.
CA California, Code Central.
Yeah.
Because it's Florida. It's
Not every state, Evan, is going to have a different code in front of it, is it?
No, it's going to be dependent on the combination of codes and states that you have within their pricing.
Yeah, the states, I don't think states all do it with the 2 letters in front of the code. So go back to your list of options and polls. So are we looking at everything? So where it says workers' comp code 30, is that the beginning of all our choices here?
Yes,
Yeah,
this is the out of the box section per thing like that. Yeah.
You sure you don't want to sit here?
No.
Patrick, are you sure you don't want to sit there?
Yeah, he keeps moving right in front of me. He tried to kill me this morning, but the conference room chair I sat on was all the way at the floor, almost fell.
That sounds like a pretty fun work environment, personally.
Yeah. What about the workers' comp code 30 description? Can we do something with that?
So the 30 description, let me go into it's all based on your pricing console. So, come on here. Okay, so, okay, so, if we click on
the state right there. Hold on a second. Why am I seeing state all of a sudden?
Come on. Okay,
You
so.
You got it broken down by state.
Yes, yeah.
So,
and this is what comes through. This 8810 California, so it'd be 8810 CA or an 8810 FL for Florida.
But we don't want to pull the code through for location. We want to pull the state through for state. You can't do that?
No, out of the box on its own, it doesn't come out that way. Let me see.
I mean, it says add states and codes.
But we write separate proposals.
Okay.
So you're saying you pull up?
No, we're at one main.
I thought the code was coming from your state.
Thinking.
So whenever you guys go to fill out a state and code, you're filling out the actual state, then the code here, but it basically is using these fields as references to default the information in that you guys gave me earlier on whenever I put that default, like what legal entity do you use, what policy do you use, stuff like that. And then in the actual state here, so if we click that hyperlink into the CA for giving us a state, this is the information that it pulls for that. However, I just Patrick, because I know that I would rather you making decisions, you got a lot of stuff your way, and so I want you to be able to have all the information instead of having less information. This is a little more limited when it comes to a Word document versus, okay, so I just pulled something up. This is what we call a CS export. It is just
Yeah.
basically, this is a list of information that we have pulled out of the box that comes from our Excel procedures that pull information. So it's a little bit different, obviously, because Excel is designed for different purposes than Word is and such. So
Pricing,
You see on the top it says location.
pricing,
we have
location name.
all your
there.
location information, contacts information, and these are dynamically expand. So in the way that it works, so basically saying that if you have 50 or if you have 2, it just pulls the data. Same thing with your state information,
but,
same thing with your code information.
Okay, so because
You
on the
can't match,
proposal, yeah.
you can't match the workers' comp total for a state and assign it to a location? Is that what you're saying?
So the state here, this is based on pricing information on a separate table than that of the location information. So they're separate parts of the system in a sense. So
Pricing state, so we can't go off of pricing state.
you can go off of pricing state, but so the way the system looks at that pricing, so the pricing that you sent me, like the rates, like your comp code rates, it's set up to have information pulled in based on what you gave us from your policy. So come on. So when you guys gave me the 8810 to put in, you gave me your manual and your funding rate, and then you gave me the state and the policy that the comp code is insured under. So this is the information also stored in the pricing. I'm sorry?
Are we going to build up the whole system this way eventually as we cross into other states with different codes? I mean, that's probably how it's all going to happen anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And it's actually, I was expecting more of that on the front end. We usually get a big dump of these rates on the front end.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But the thing is, it's breaking it out by state because that's what we have come to understand is the breakout for for how you guys are getting your insurance policy. So we're trying to match that related. If it's breaking it out where 8810 insured within California is going to be producing this kind of a rate, then we didn't go any more granular than that for that reason.
So
We got to get the infrastructure set up, then we'll come back and worry about that later. Problem is, it's going to hold up the whole setup process.
real quickly though, so if we want to get a hold of Hub, we say Doggy Powwow has like a bunch of locations. When we get a quote from them for the 88, when we get that comp code, will it be on one policy? Or are they going to break policies up per location?
They're going to, as far as I know, polls are probably going to break it by state because the accords are by state.
I mean, but like if Hub gives us one, so really this
should be by state.
Okay.
There's no way they can quote because rates are different by state. They're not the same.
Well,
so
wouldn't they need different entities for each of them too? Do you remember how if you end up going to Colorado, you're going to have to be a different?
No. You can be one entity in one state and have multiple locations. And I'm not grabbing this at all because even comp code looks great. Like we should have comp code importing over like this, 8810 clerical.
The policy. And then...
So Evan, it's just really hard to believe that we're looking at it here, but it's not possible to put it onto our proposal.
On here, are you guys wanting, correct me if I'm wrong, you're wanting the comp code here, 8810 clerical, with this state. But you're also wanting it more granular than that? Because right now it pulls through an 8810 CA. And
show me how you're pricing this. So give me an example of how, because I think what you're saying, Evan, is that the proposal, PRISM, just without going to our proposal or Pulse is going to jumble all states, all workers' comp class codes. It's just no way to break it apart. Just jumbled total.
No, so what it does is this design you see right here, so with this 8810 California, code 1, let me pull that little thing up again. So like right here, if you put this merge field in there, that work comp code will pull up this for you, an 8810 CA. But if you have...
So that's workers' comp code 1.
Right. But if let's just say we add another California, we add in another one of these, and we add it in here. So then what you'll end up seeing is on work comp code 2, we'll come down here and you'll see a 6006 California. And that's how that comp code is identified with its state together. That's what would get put onto onto your Word document.
I think we're gonna take that
The only thing is, when we get into these complicated comp codes, I'm almost thinking that the comp code, the way they've got it broken down on the other screen, would be nice with 8810 hyphen clerical. That would even make more sense
well,
to
when
me.
you click it, that's all we're gonna see though in the proposal, right? Because some people don't know what those.
Right, they don't know, but yeah, I mean, if we can do a better description in our proposal of their different comp codes.
Well, the description is there. This is just the way that they kept
But
it.
the description is 8810 hyphen clerical, it doesn't show what state. Go back to that screen that I'm talking about, Evan.
Yes, sir. The description would be the clerical part right here. I know you asked that earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
So comp code right here, that part can't go into our comp code section.
It can, but what you would have is show
the difference, you're saying?
Sorry, I'm trying to find a text field that I can just straight up show you in. But yeah, so you would have in here, you would see.
Yeah. Oh, so it will show clerical as well.
I mean, yeah, because we would pull the description in, and all we would do is just add a little hyphen between them, or something of that nature.
Mm. Okay. So then probably let's join together class code and location, because then it's gonna be, it'll work, because we're gonna need both of those combined together just to have all the data feed over whatever the description is of the class code.
Makes sense.
That's fine, because otherwise, if we're merging those two boxes together and then it just shows up 8810CA and then everything's blank after it, it's just a huge amount of space for a little bit of data. So, you know, so the one final question, Evan, so every single comp code for the state of California will have CA after it because we're programming in Pulse that way? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's the way the output is designed as an out-of-the-box proc, yes.
So as long as the master design is always with the two letters of the state, then we can approach it from that direction then. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Every code will have a state.
So why don't we put class code, you know, / location or something like that? Couldn't we just kind of do a hybrid of both in the title?
Kind of like that?
Because you're getting class code first. No, not that. Let that dump however it dumps. But I mean, the location, if you click on the last letter of location,
yeah,
the title, so after N in location.
Okay, right in here.
The bold, right, then put a hyphen and just like class code, or, you know, or vice versa, because class code will be first, then location would be after, something like that.
So what are we going to do with this because it's column that we have?
So then like / location.
Okay.
And then / description. maybe it's all three of those things, and then just because if those are merged together, then that would make the most sense. Then they know what they're looking at. I think that's probably what we want to do. Yeah.
So something that would be a little bit more like this.
Yeah, and then just I would almost say put a space after code and put a space after the / So that way there's a space before the / and a space after. Location,
Yeah.
same.
Absolutely
Something
agree.
like that. Okay, and then it's easier for your eyes. And I don't know if we
Yeah.
can spread it out a little bit so it's all one row. 'Cause maybe the monthly premium doesn't need to be quite as big. I don't know.
Yeah, monthly premium.
I mean, honestly,
Maybe
when it comes to the design part, I'd recommend you guys just play around to figure out what you're more comfortable with. Now knowing more about this output right here.
So you're, all right, number of employees, yes, you can import that.
Oh yeah, that's in the yep. We got your EE count right here.
Okay, and then what else do we have? Gross payroll.
Gross payroll.
We can do that.
Yep. We have your SUDA, FUDA, but you're not upcharting anything on that, so there's no weird there.
There's no admin percentage, but there's no admin per head on that workers' comp either. And then effective comp rate. Let me see, are we
No yawning in the meeting.
You know what?
Yeah. There's so much coffee.
You know what? We do want to do an admin percentage markup, I think, on the workers' comp. So can we do, is it discretionary or is it just gonna force it every time?
It would default in there every time. And then if you wanted, like when we talked about like a special pricing, then you would have to have somebody go in there to change it. So it would default every time.
Okay.
What we could do is leave it no markup right now. Yeah. Let's just... Yeah. Bobby's asking about who's entering these codes on the poll system. So I'm just filling them in. That the salesperson is going to click and choose what it is, correct?
Yep, that would be right.
Okay. So the salesperson is going to get a declaration page.
Okay.
That declaration page is going to show that salesperson
Right.
exactly what they've got cooking. Now, can any salesperson work on a deal like this? No, it's got to be the PEO. This is like a PEO.
Well, all PEOs have to go through approvals, right, Evan?
Yes, all PEOs currently do have to go through an approval stage.
Right.
Right.
But it's probably going to be where that lead, that, you know, if that salesperson really can't do it, they got to either work with you on figuring all that out with those workers' comp class codes and get that puppy pushed through, or they got to pass that off and maybe either do a split with another salesperson that can help figure all this out for them on the PEO level, you know. There we go.
There you
we go.
Well, if we have a master sheet with the codes, everything on that, you know, they can have in their sales book. So it's
The
not a problem.
declaration page from the current policy
Right.
will spell out what these guys have.
Mm-hmm.
The question would be, how could it be more efficient is the key.
Right.
Because a lot of times, small businesses, their class codes are miscategorized. So if they're, like, let's use Glendale Iron as an example. They're a metal fabrication company.
Right.
Well, you can't label all 15 employees as metal fabricators.
Some are clerical.
Correct. So you got to identify exactly how many are
And
clerical.
that's on the declaration
Or
page.
sales.
No, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just shows one code, metal fabrication, for all 15 employees.
And you're like, no.
And that salesperson, if he wants to be competitive,
Right.
he better ask that owner, are all 15 employees on this declaration page, are they all metal fabricators? Because if he says, no, I got 5 in the office, 5 in the office. Oh, okay, how many are
cheaper,
doing?
yeah.
Correct. Now he just got competitive and he's going to win his deal. That's the point. Those are sales tactics.
Right.
So if you don't use those sales tactics, it's going to be
harder.
harder.
That's a training class we have to do with the sales team.
So then, and then also for installation.
How about, we haven't got to that, but group benefits too, is that?
Yeah, we'll wrap this one up first.
Okay.
All right, so let's just circle back now to, all right, go back to the proposal real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have number of employees, no problem, estimated payroll, no problem, and then monthly premiums, no problem. I just wanted to see if there was any other columns we could put in from your options or your choices. That's all I'm looking for right now. So what else did we have here?
From the comp code itself, we've
Workers'
got.
comp. Code.
There we go.
Yeah. Bill rate. Should we? Yeah, estimated payroll, gross payroll. I mean, they're close enough, and you're going to map it out anyway. So I would rather put the word estimated payroll because that way they know that we're just estimating what they're saying. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Under the workers' comp code description, is that what goes in there? Where is that field out on the pulse board?
This is going to be your code description. So when we talked about in your rates, how you want to be able to have that. Yes.
So that
the drop down on the far right, that's in there?
So it's merging two items into one then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so what would happen is I would take your, let me pull it up. So I would take this field and I would merge it with this field to give you this result.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're merging class code, you're merging state, you're merging description, all three together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I think that works. I think we're going to have to stay this way with this, so then Donna, if you want to just try to fix this up a little bit.
Yeah, I already have it.
All right, we're good on workers' comp. And then, then the other thing, Evan, is we need the computer to add all the monthly premium for all the different class codes. Scroll down a little bit to the bottom. And then what happened to our total on workers' comp? Same page, workers' comp.
We made a couple edits, so it might have changed a little bit. Let me.
All right, we're gonna update it, but we want a running total. We want a grand total of all the monthly premiums.
Okay.
In that column at the bottom. So we're gonna update it. Can you do that?
I mean, yeah, whatever we're populating in here, I'll just take them all and put them together.
All right.
I mean, in here we can take this and do a, let me see here. I mean, I can literally just take this and go plus one field, plus the next field, plus the next field, plus the next one. I mean.
So row 2, row 3, row 4, all the way down. If we have 10 rows of monthly premium, you'll add them all together.
Yep.
But they'll stay separate. So
separated up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Separated up here, total down at the bottom.
All right. Now, scroll up over to the first page of the proposal. One more, like right there. Okay. So you can see the import plan type from Pulse. Is that okay? No problem there to do that?
Import plan from Pulse, administration. What plan is this again?
It could be a starter. It could be a bronze, silver, gold, platinum.
Oh, the contract type? Yeah. Yep, we got that for you. Easy peasy.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, just rename it contract type.
Yeah, no problem.
If that's contract type, what do you call our agreements? Just agreement? Because we have an ASO and a PEO agreement. So
from what I understand, the way Lindsay had talked about things, and obviously the way we've had stuff set up,
right.
in here we have a field that's hard-coded for the different dependencies, getting all that sales information in there for you, which is this contract type. And we know that you guys have the metal system.
That's why you call it contract type, because it says it right there.
Exactly.
So what are we calling the agreements on the right side where they end up showing up? ASO,
You could still
PEO.
call that. Well, hang on a minute. Let me pull it up again.
Did we change the titles? Did we change those to agreements? Because I think we were trying to work on ASO, PEO, and then saying the word agreement after. Did we ended up making those changes?
Oh, on the contract type? I don't think that we did. I don't remember a conversation about it, but I can change that if you want.
Go find it. Go find it in Pulse real quick. And where do you see ASO and PEO? Not there. It's somewhere else. It's somewhere else. It's where you actually create a proposal.
Oh, you're talking about the links. Let me see here. You're talking about those custom links. Yeah, they appear on the approved state. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me see. Yeah, this is what we've got for you right now.
All right. So one's called a proposal, one's called a PEO agreement, one's called an ASO agreement. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear contract type, I'm thinking those are contract types. Those are the agreements. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So our vocabulary is not crossing over at all.
No, I think
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now contract type, you can pull from that field back over to our proposal, right?
Yep, you got it.
Okay. So go back to the proposal real quick, Evan.
Okay.
All right. So import plan type from Pulse, which is contract type. Monthly premium. So what we don't have here is the count of how many we're charging for is the only thing, per employee per month. So this is monthly premium, but it doesn't break down so maybe, Donna, what we need to do on that first row is, let's do this. Maybe we can add, because Evan, we can import how many employees and how much it is per employee per month. Can we do that over here?
Let me see.
Same row, just add a box, number of employees is X. And then, like, I'm just thinking we'd have to squeeze in the same row.
Like per employee cost, number of employees.
Yeah, and then total, something like that, so somebody can do the math on their calculator and say, oh, I got it. And you know what else we're missing on the proposal?
What?
The bio, hiring,
But that's what I thought.
timekeeping.
That's what I thought when we were gonna just give them the numbers. Those were the numbers that they were just gonna get. And then when they want a breakdown.
We should have it, if it's here, we should have it go straight to the proposal that way too. Well, I don't know if it's.
Well, it should be easy because if they're entering, the proposal information is gonna be there, we just gonna map it over. So
Right.
What is it named, so we can make sure that we make the column that's named correctly.
And I'm
Number
just
of employees.
thinking, so you're looking at number of employees right now, Evan?
I'm looking up the PEPM admin fee that I believe that you're referencing on. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
For like a monthly premium.
Mm-hmm.
So the total is going to be total monthly premium for, whatever the contract type is. And then the contract type, let's say it's a starter, $15 per employee per month. So what we're going to have to do is spell it out to the customer. Your proposal has the contract type on that first row, and maybe still on the first row with a couple more boxes. Like you have a box that says number of employees, or a box says per employee per month, and then we put in the $15, and then
Would you feel better? Would you feel better about having multiple boxes like this per contract type, so that it automatically defaults like that standard rate in there, and then maybe we'll take like the employee count, like what we're pulling like right down here, like a number of employees, and then we'll just insert it maybe into like another section by it or something like that?
I think we want to keep it all in the numbers, like this specific thing just for them, and then break it apart afterwards, like this is what.
I can see, yeah, because if they don't do the workers' comp, then that won't fly with the workers' comp number of employees. So I'm almost thinking, Evan, what we got to do is probably add another row, maybe above administration and above monthly premium. So another row up above that, and then, or just add a row and then push down administration, monthly premium, whatever is easier. Yeah, something like that. And then I'm just thinking maybe we need to give a little data of what we're basing the proposal on over here, so then we can do, maybe we need to do it. So
You
Evan,
would do contract type by
yeah, wondering if it should show contract type, but then that wouldn't make any sense.
I know, because then we can't do the per employee, what if we keep going per employee per month on
What?
everything?
Split the cell, just split that cell real quick, Evan.
Which one?
Yeah, you're in it.
Okay.
It's blinking. And just split it.
If we do.
So then, if in the first box to the left, we put in number of employees.
Okay.
Something like, you know, and then essentially in the next spot, right there where you're at, then it has X number of employees. So then they know how many employees we're putting all this pricing on. So just put in,
Okay.
like, yeah, so, yeah, EE count. So then we have total count. So then that kind of identifies how all of our pricing is below, is kind of what I'm thinking.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
we can go contract type, so say they got the bronze or whatever they have,
yeah.
what that cost is, then the name of the buy-up and what that costs per employee. The name of the other buy-up, just keep going down. And then when we work on the,
So contract type on the top, but we have workers' comp rolling up here, and we have group benefits rolling up.
but we're gonna be deleting them, but they don't have them.
No, you can't. I mean, you'll delete the other pages, but you can't delete these rows. They stay static. So he can populate things next to it, but if you, there's no way he can put
Okay.
workers' comp, group benefit. He can just sort of have a field that, shows workers' comp will be blank for monthly premium if there's nothing there.
Why do we have EE count?
So that way so EE count, if we do like number of employees, EE count, that's how many it is. That's 25. So that's what he's saying. He's trying to figure out how he would import the data. That's how he would import 25 right there. So if we have this here, the customer can see that's my contract type, and then that's my monthly premium. The only missing factor to that customer is how much is it for these employees per month. So then I think somewhere we got to put, per employee per month charge.
Well, that's what the PEM,
And I think
can we do the PEM on the top,
the what?
the per employee per month, on the top right?
This right here?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then-
or we could put it here in this row, so that way they see count here, then that, and then that.
I think it'd be easier on the eyes, but better for them to see on
Because
the top.
per employee per month is not a general for everything. So I don't want them thinking $15, it's all included. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if it's out there, what is $15? So Evan, go inside the contract type row.
Okay.
And yeah, just kind of split that up into 3. And then put in that box you're in, put in per employee per month, the word per employee per month. Yeah. Something like that, and then we can call it a PEPM, but just so we know right now. And then for the next box, we would just put in whatever that number is, right?
Okay, so right over into here.
Yeah, and then if it's $15, so we would probably need that for the buy-ups too, right? Like you're saying on your thing there.
So they can keep seeing, like, what does it cost for
Per
me to have this
unit.
per PEPM?
Yeah. What's the example is the EX?
Yeah, I was just putting that in there as a note for myself.
All right. So then, Evan, if you could insert below the contract type, like
Okay.
1, 2, 3 more rows, insert 3 more rows below that.
Nope. I'm assuming you want those back to normal, right?
The same way you're doing it, just it's like a copy. So keep going. 1 more. All right, that's good. So basically, below the contract type, we would need the buy-ups. So, and I'm just thinking right out loud, timekeeping is a buy-up. Then below that one, we would need hiring is a buy-up.
Okay.
Expense reimbursement's a buy-up.
Which one was that?
Expense reimbursement.
Okay, actually, are you guys, so you're referring to the
Additional services.
surcharges that we've got in your system?
Can you bring those over? You can import that stuff?
I want to say so, but let me... In the Excel export, yes. Looks like for Word, it would be no on that. But if you guys are going to keep these as a default fee, I mean, I recommend just creating a different version of this per contract type, and we can just really quickly wrap it and then have it just as a conditional appearance.
Okay. So I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. A different table? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so like if you have, so let's just say as like a default, you've got this is, 400 and this one's going to be 100 and then the next one's going to be, however much or whatever. But say you have, the defaults as to per which one's going to equal a certain amount. And you know that those are just not, like, for instance, I think you guys told me that your starter HR is going to have a client setup of minimum of like 250 or something. So if that's your default of 250 for your startup, for the starter HR, but for your bronze, it's going to be, 400 or something like that, you might almost want to make it easier on yourselves and create a different version of this table in there per contract type. And then we can just have it appear per contract type. So if it's a bronze, a certain one will appear, starter HR, another one appears. And then that way, certain kinds of pieces in here that,
price.
I'm sorry?
It doesn't affect the price though. Doesn't it sound like that'd be redundant, doing it like duplicating this, because it's all the same?
Well,
yeah, Evan, I'm not sure on that, because it's all of the same. It's the contract type is the only variable here. Timekeeping is always the same price, no matter what plan you buy. Hiring is always the same price, no matter what plan you buy.
Is your PEPM the same thing?
Yeah, it's always the same. It's not going to change.
So the PEPM is $15 for ASO, silver, bronze, platinum.
Whatever contract type you import over there, right?
the variable will be for the PEPM, depending on the contract type.
So that's the only row that's gonna have something change.
Okay.
If we copy this whole thing and we're programming 5 different pages, we're just like so redundant, it's ridiculous. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I think, so you import whatever the per employee, per price, per month is right there where the 15 is, so that's an
Gotcha.
import, right?
Yep.
And then for the timekeeping, it's always gonna be $5 per head. Hiring, it's always gonna be $100 per month. The expense reimbursement is always going to be $5 per month. Those prices are not going to change. But because you're saying you can't import those, is what you're saying, right?
Yes, but if they're going to stay the same, then we wouldn't necessarily have to import them, correct?
But mathematically, what you got to do is take whatever they sign up for in Pulse, you got to put the total under monthly premium. So if we know the EE count is 25 times 5, that's the expense reimbursement total. Let's just make it more simple. 10 employees times $5 for expense reimbursement means monthly premium is $50. So you guys could do the math on that and populate the math over there for monthly premium.
I need to check on that. I need to check on that for sure. Just I theorize yes. I just want to make sure on that.
All right. Well, so if it can't be like a Pulse, and this is not Excel, so I don't know how that's you can't really program it here, right? It can't be programmed.
In the merge field section, you could do quite a few calculations. I have to run through to figure out exactly which ones, because yes, it does differ a little bit. It's not as easy as going A4 plus, C3.
Okay. Well, yeah, so if you can do the EE count times whatever the surcharge item is, except hiring is just $100 if they want it. So then we just need to know, are they getting it or are they not getting it? And that's $100 per month. Can you populate hiring monthly premium $100 if it's included in the pricing console?
Being the surcharges are going to be brought through on this particular procedure for Word documents, no, I don't believe so.
So, what if the whole proposal is just in Excel? Does that make more sense?
It does. When it prints, we still try to make it look pretty.
We'll just set up the page. Yeah, I mean, Evan, it just sounds like we're running into too many roadblocks here because we could, well, let me think. Now, even if it was Excel, it wouldn't work because it's got to pull over as a surcharge. How are you planning on pulling surcharges over, Evan, in a proposal? Tell me how you can make that work. Let's try to figure it out this way.
So the Excel stuff is different. Obviously, as I showed you guys.
No. Skip Excel. Just our Word document.
Yes.
How do you envision pulling surcharges right now to our proposal?
You would need a custom proc developed.
How are we coming up with the price then, if we don't get that?
Yeah, how are you creating proposals if you have surcharges in your system?
Basically, this skinny. The only explanation I have is that the Word procedure was designed for skinnier versions of proposals. Not everybody uses their surcharges, and in all fairness, I think it's about between 25 and 40% of the clients do use the surcharge system.
And then can all of that work with Excel if we go the Excel route? Do the fields change for Excel?
If the fields expand for you, yes. Like they change, but you have more. So what you're running into is you'll have less roadblocks and you'll have more options. Yeah, so you're just going to get a lot more information. That'll come through on Excel. That's the reason why we have these out of the box. So like with the Excel, you would not have to have a custom proc because the Excel will have per default, it's meant for expanded proposal information, unbundled type things.
So does the proposal work where it's two parts? One is Word, one is Excel, or do we put all of our words in Excel on the same page?
That would be up to you. If you wanted to generate it where it was literally just your pricing, so let's say you wanted it to be just like your little pricing, what's it called, table right here, and you wanted to be able to have them pull that, copy and paste it over or something like that, you could do that as well. I have had a lot of people just put the entire thing in Excel, but the difference is they just did the print format for how they wanted to go through it. So they made sure that they went through, it was all designed within the reason of a print page, and then they would just have their salespeople run it, review it, double check their numbers to make sure everything looks good for how they put pricing in, and then they would just run a PDF off of it.
So you're saying we could use Word and we could use Excel. We could use both?
If you want to, yes. You would just, if like in Excel, if you wanted to do like your tables like that, you would just copy and paste your tables over into the Word document from Excel.
What's that CS export that you show? Is that automatically populated, something that you already have inside of?
This is something we would set up for you. This is just a default thing, but I'm just showing you because it has the list of fields right here for you. But this is us. We build this is all built out for you. So you would give us the Excel file, and then we would add this in as a hidden tab for you.
So we need everything like one way. So a salesperson could be like, okay, got it, and print. Like the salesperson can't be copying, pasting. What's the point of approvals if they're just making their own cocktail mix and they're able to manipulate all the data? That's not going to make any sense. So essentially, if we put our whole proposal over here in Word, are you saying that in Excel, so we would put the whole proposal on one sheet, and then the second sheet could be all the pricing, something like that, and that could all be merged when it pops out of Pulse?
No, you could do it. So here, so you could have this in here. You could have the whole document in here.
Right.
And you could have it all set within these print borders right here. And those would be able to give you the ability to have it all generate in here, all in the same page bit like this. And so you don't have to change tabs or anything. This CS export is what interacts with our system whenever a procedure is run, and we would keep that hidden for you. But we would pull everything over into your document here, and then and then all you would have to do is just export print as PDF.
But you're giving us an Excel spreadsheet that our salespeople can manipulate. Is that what you're saying?
That's what would come out of the system, yes.
No.
That makes no sense to me. Can the Excel spreadsheet be locked so the salesperson can't change it?
Actually, I believe Microsoft does have functionality with that.
You can password protect it.
But it's got to come out of, like, when management approves the proposal, it's got to be where Pulse has it locked or something, right? So it's like nobody can go in there and start messing with. It's just too many moving parts if we have to start programming protection, not protect. So can Pulse just automatically lock it and do it that way every time, or is it every time somebody's got to go and lock a proposal?
By lock, do you mean lock the document, or do you mean lock the pricing that you've generated in the system?
Locking the cells so they can't go in there and change the pricing.
Okay, in Pulse, right in here, right? You're referring to are you referring to this, or are you referring to the document?
already locked, right? So there's really nothing they can do except pick their contract type, and if they don't sell it the way it is, we're golden. But then as soon as you're converting over pricing to an Excel document, all of a sudden they can go in there and change any number. What was the point of management approval if a salesperson gets an Excel spreadsheet? Now they could just fudge all the numbers and do whatever they want. So my question is, will Pulse lock the Excel spreadsheet so the salesperson gets an approval, they cannot manipulate the numbers in Excel?
I would have to look into Microsoft's securing functionality. I don't have an answer for you right off on that.
Okay.
So Evan, I'm just trying to figure out, so that's, you're saying Microsoft, because Microsoft functionality would be tied to Pulse when someone clicks approve?
All we do is put in the system, we have stored procedure, we have code that will populate this document with whatever information that we have coming out of the system.
I think,
from that point on, it is out of our hands. It's not part of our system. It's a third-party vendor. We can make edits. We can do a lot of manipulation to it, but once we start making manipulations in here, we're making manipulations in a Microsoft product, not a Pulse product.
So if we bring our Word doc, is that locked?
Probably not. But I thought it was going to, if we stay in Word, does Pulse create a PDF for the salesperson, or is
yes,
or is
we can generate a PDF from a Word document
instead of a document? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we can generate a PDF from a Word document.
Automatically in the Pulse system. So
yes, so they would never generate a Word document where they could edit it.
But you're saying not with Excel.
No, Microsoft doesn't allow us to be able to do that. Not with Excel. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me, but.
Yeah. So go back to the Word document real quick for a second. I just think it's better if you can figure out on what we're doing right now with this setup here, just figure out how you can make the math work on populating monthly premiums. Because if this thing can convert to a PDF and nobody can manipulate the data, that's the way I want to go. I think it might be easier than reinventing the wheel going to Excel. We're trying to,
I couldn't agree more.
That's why we started. Yeah, that's why we just tried to start this thing with just so simple, figuring it could work. I mean, we just don't know how to break it down any simpler than what we're doing. But, and so here's the problem. If there's a surcharge for the customer, and then over here, they want the hiring, it's not coming through. They have no way to pull this stuff through.
Is it automatically coming over?
None. They can't pull it over.
But they can pull over the total with the surcharges.
Can you pull over a total with surcharges?
When you say a total with surcharges, could you elaborate on that a little more for me?
So if they do get timekeeping, can you pull that can you just crunch it all together with the total premium? I don't think they have any surcharge capabilities over here at all.
We're not, the out-of-the-box product that we'd be using for this would not be pulling surcharge information.
How long would it take to program those 3 rows just to make this work on pulling surcharges over?
To have them, that would be a custom procedure.
Right.
Let's see. As of right now, we're talking a minimum 2 months. Just because we have a backlog and we just have a lot. Right now, we're, that part of our department, that part of the company is very slow.
Evan, just to clarify, if they pull over a total and we make a proposal, it can only be done on the contract type. It doesn't pull all the additional surcharges. It's not going to pick that up as a total at all?
Correct.
Right. I
I was
mean,
hoping
just
that
what
was
a,
correct. I was hoping I was misunderstanding.
just what a ridiculous system. Because
So,
we created 3 rows on our proposal. Yeah, we're just adding a couple surcharges. And it's like, we can't really break it down any simpler than what we're doing.
So we have to manually do the surcharges?
Which means if you got a call center, you got a bunch of people that are just really not paying attention, things are gonna blow up. And they're gonna blow up fast if it's not a fully automated system.
I know, it's a training issue too then.
Can't be variables, can't be parts in the process. Cause yeah, I mean, we got our digital marketing strategist, he blows up the phones, you just gotta put people in, and they can't be
Well, I
programmed.
agree with you, but
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think for,
yeah.
then, it's either the PDF route or we go to Excel.
So can a manager add the surcharge? No, because that doesn't, well, yeah, can a
Yes.
manager manipulate the Word document and approve it that way?
Yes. You could have it where the manager pulls a Word document instead of a PDF, so we could have 2 separate report links set up. And so you can have security on those within the system that is dynamic, and that is going to work that way for you.
So manager sees there's 3 surcharges, manager just types in whatever it is and clicks approve, and we're on our way. And the salesperson only sees the PDF on his side.
Yeah, you could do it that way, where it appears for the manager when their approval record appears, if that's what you're wanting.
As a Word document. So then the manager can say, let me go look at surcharges. So then, you know, the manager double checks surcharges, sees the surcharges there, manager enters whatever the surcharges are, because the salesperson's got to put that in. They want to do a proposal request, right? I mean, we're pushing it, right now we're pushing it that the client wants all surcharges. So if the salesperson doesn't remove them, they're included in the quote, right? That's the way we set this thing up.
Yep.
So in essence, that's the way I want to push it through to where the manager's like, are they really want all these? You know, that's where I think that way it's overpricing it to the customer. That's the only accident that could happen. And the customer says, but I didn't want timekeeping. Then we're just backing it out, saying, sorry, it's just going to lower your price because, you know, upselling is impossible. And it's
So impulse will be a little tab of the right.
So let's approach it. Yeah, let's approach it that way. Then surcharges are automatic, but they're not being included on Word. So then basically, sales manager is going to have to manually add that information. I don't know how else to do it. Unless we make every, all right, hold on. Click on the Word document again. You know what we could do? We can push it every time. He does the math on this, and he pushes it. So it's priced out here.
Okay.
So it's just every time we push the pricing that way, and then manager just double checks whether the people really want it. Because if whoever the person is that's doing a deal, they can remove a surcharge, and then that manager just has to go look at the surcharges. There's only 2.
So you're talking about the other cells auto-populate out.
Auto-populate this, because Evan, it sounds like you can take EE count times expense reimbursement, $5, and then populate in monthly premium box, right?
Yeah, very possibly. I want to test before I say for sure. But yeah.
So I'm saying that's the way we're going to handle it. We're going to populate those boxes automatically every time. And it's going to lock into a PDF. If the salesperson doesn't want a price adjustment, he's pricing it that way, and he's done in a PDF.
Well, we don't have adjustments on the surcharges. We don't deviate from those pricing at all.
But maybe the customer doesn't want it.
Oh, okay.
Then we have to go and manipulate it.
Yeah, back it out.
But you're saying if you automatically program that stuff, Evan, and then the manager does get a request for, like, for instance, a salesperson might be like, yeah, okay, so expense, because we're pushing surcharges, can we make those required so then if a salesperson wants to remove a surcharge, that requires management approval?
Um, believe so. I got to test to find out where the delete button for your security stuff is, but yeah, very possible.
Yeah.
Because then,
All right.
yeah, we know that there's a high need for limitation on what salespeople can actually do in the pricing console.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, like I'd have to I want to just confirm for you, but yes, I believe so.
We want to lock the surcharges so they cannot go and delete them, and essentially that way they will have to put in a request for one of those to be removed they'll have to request approval. Otherwise, they want to price it out that way, then we can, on the Word document, just have all the math add up and make it push through that way. So go back over to the Word document again. All right, so moving along. So Evan, just figure out if you can, the timekeeping, you know it's $5. You already have the surcharge pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So you already know timekeeping is $5 per month. And basically the way we would do it is per employee per month, PEPM would go for timekeeping, would go for expense reimbursement. So PEPM is going to go there. Right. And then you would just put $5, and that's what we would force on the price section. No, hiring is per month.
It's just a flat rate per month.
Flat rate per month, yeah. And that's $100.
Okay. So we got.
So $100 there, $5 on the timekeeping, $5 expense reimbursement, and then just put PEPM on expense reimbursement.
Mm-hmm.
And you do the math and try and push it every time so it's on the monthly premiums.
You got them.
And all you're doing is, yeah, because you can take your EE count that's already imported and try to figure out that math there. Now,
exactly,
where you are
we're getting
with the
there.
cursor.
The what?
Yeah. So now we're under expense reimbursement, that empty box down below expense reimbursement.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need the setup charge to be in there as well. So can we, Donna, move the mouse real quick? So can we do the math on that one, which is all you're doing is duplicating whatever is under contract type row 1, whatever you're importing for that number, it's a duplication to client setup. You're always matching whatever the contract type monthly premium is. That is what the setup is.
So the contract type monthly premium is a PEPM of 15.
And I'm just thinking about that because we had a minimum 250 on that one, so now that's changed.
Yes.
All right. So it's so client setup is for, I would say, for 4 contract types, it's exactly going to match the monthly premium on that top row for client setup. But for the starter, for the $15 plan, it's a minimum of $250 for the starter. Yeah. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, it's matching, but the starter plan is $250 minimum.
Okay.
So how can we populate over here? How would we do that mathematically?
So the startup
is it different?
Is your startup plan a separate fee, or in addition to the PPM of that matches the contract type?
It's the HR starter plan. I think we asked you to plug that in. I don't know if you did on the contract type.
It's in there. I saw it.
So this is your
starter
initial startup fee for that starter plan, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Because it's only $75. You do 15 times 5, which is our minimum. It's only 75. So it's such a low price plan. We're charging $250 to make up for the low pricing.
Mhm.
But yeah. So that's the HR starter plan. Yeah. That's the setup. Setup is 250.
Okay. Then let me see what I can do about design.
Evan, the word the startup plan words, get rid of those. It's a starter HR cost, setup cost is 250. So get rid of startup, get rid of, I mean, you can call it starter HR.
Cost.
Yeah, startup cost, there you go. Or setup cost, whatever you want to call it. So it's 250 for that, yeah. Starter HR, 250, because you're already under client setup.
Right.
And then contract type equals premium for the bronze, silver, gold, platinum.
Mm-hmm.
That we would just populate under monthly premium to match the first row. Oh, I see. You could manipulate it, huh?
Mhm.
So what would you think about then having, I'll look into seeing about having see if we can't have a row appear and disappear. That just says your starter HR startup cost or fee or whatever you want to call it, and then having that appear.
Starter HR setup. There's no startup. I don't know. There's no. It's just
Yeah,
setup.
just make it set up.
Yeah. Starter HR setup, $250. If they go for that contract type, that's what would have to be under monthly premium for setup. So you're saying it's probably going to work as an extra row that you can hide it or show it depending on what happens?
I'm going to try to see if we can.
Okay. So then for the client setup, the one above it, you're figuring that's a no-brainer. You could definitely populate those for monthly premium, right?
Yeah, because I'm going to try, I need to find out if I can take whatever the value is of that EE count times whatever our value is that's found here, because these default, as you've said, so these are fairly stagnant. So
So Evan, on the first row, you got contract type, PEPM 15 import from Pulse.
Right.
So you didn't take away the import from Pulse, so I'm assuming you could do that. I know you're getting lost, and that's why I'm trying to make sure you're staying on the same page as us. That number will be imported, correct? No?
This number, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is whatever your cost is here times your EE count, correct?
Right, but you're pulling all that data from...
I would pull the EE count, yes, but this data over here would be done. We could just do that through a calculation. At least I would need to make sure that it can be done through a calculation. As far as the premium goes, I'll look through the...
You can't pull it, you can't pull that total from Pulse, though. Is that what you're saying?
I need to look through your proc in detail to find out exactly, because there's a startup cost that, where is it at? Client startup fee default in here. I need to find out where that's coming from, so I have to go talk to our developers.
Got it. All right, but you don't have a PE. You don't have a PEPM per month.
I got to do research on it for you, just to be sure. That's why I'm taking down all these notes for each of these pieces, because I just want to...
The list that you were just in, Evan, the list that you were just in, I saw you had a PEPM. There's no PEPM over here in this list? Yeah, go up. Yeah. Go above the workers' comp.
But there's that here, then there's... Where's it at? Here it is. You do have an admin per head per month, but that's based on your admin fees. Oh. So yes, like that is in there. We put that in there for the contract type.
That's not tallying the total though, huh?
No, but the thing is that like it exactly to your point, Patrick. If we are pulling in an admin per head, we stick that sucker right here. We get our 15.
Okay.
We take this number, which we're already pulling in, times however we're getting this EE count, that populates that field.
All right.
Done. Easy.
Perfect.
It's just the rest of this. That's the stuff I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I want to double check
So
because of the
what
reason.
I want to do, Evan, is just, yeah, so basically you're duplicating that up there for the client setup that you have highlighted in yellow already for the contract type premium for 4 plans, bronze, silver, gold, platinum.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep your life as simple as possible right there. So if you crack it on the top one, then hopefully you can crack it for that client setup there as well.
Perfect.
All right, and then, yeah, the starter HR setup, you got to figure that one out.
Yep.
And workers' comp, we're importing totals. Now, group benefit, if you can go down to the last page for group benefits real quick.
Down here or the very last page?
Very last page of the,
Yeah.
on the post.
On the Word document. So, probably because we made changes to the workers' comp, that's why it's showing scrambled like this.
Let me drag it down so we get more clarity. Okay, that's great.
That, why, oh,
There we
So,
go.
okay. Yeah.
yeah, we had those
So
on top of each
group-
other for some reason.
Yeah, because we're trying to put workers' comp before group benefits. So
Yeah, yeah.
the summary page 1, workers' comp page 2, group benefits page 3, and then for the group benefits page 3, which is this is workers' comp.
So the group benefits right here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we're going to run into the same problem as we did with workers' comp on group benefits for location now.
Yes, because the location itself, by like completely independent of anything else, is not being pulled through.
We know we can pull number of employees. We know we can pull monthly premium, but by state, pricing is different, not always the same. So how can we do that for group benefits? Can we do it by state? It's still the same list for group benefits too, huh?
Yeah, this is all the fields that get pulled through for, and it's one proc to one document.
Yeah. Is there anything about benefits over here?
Mm-mm. No, our benefits module is actually under construction right now, too. So I'm thinking whenever that's done, we'll probably get something, which sucks because it doesn't help us right now.
All right. So we're going to leave group benefits off of this. Just the last page of group benefits.
Okay.
So Evan, since we made so many changes to this Word document you have, can you upload that to the Pulse case so we can grab it, try to fix it, tweak it a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, then I will go back and focus on getting this stuff, figuring out design and how to get that pulled in for you. I'll upload this the way it is to the case, to our merge documents case, so we keep everything nice and confined there. And was there anything else, any other questions or anything before we call?
The only thing I'm thinking is the group benefits on the summary page, because there's no imports for any group benefits. So essentially on the group benefits summary, where you have it right there, manager has to enter that in.
So this will be entered in manual.
It'll be a manual manager entry if the salesperson says, I need group benefits added to my proposal. So then they'll just have to put a request in.
Okay.
And manager just type it in there. Yeah.
Nope.
Because we can get a quote from Hub International and we can just put the total over here. So it all, I'm guessing if the manager enters it, if the manager manually enters it, will the total show up correctly at the bottom?
formula is it?
This area, I'm going to be working on the same thing as some of these other ones to
Yeah.
find out if it's possible to use Excel type reference in here in
Okay.
any kind of way, because there's a lot of similarities in those
Yeah.
in the Excel type things like that, because you can do if statements in here. But I have to find out how to get that in
Okay.
here and to do all that for you.
All right, Evan. That'll work. So,
Alrighty.
we'll wait for the upload and we'll get that updated by the end of day today and upload
Excellent.
it again to you.
Sounds good. And I'm going to go wrestle with
Thanks,
Microsoft.
Okay.
Okay, talk to you later.
Talk to you.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.